Hello everyone, and welcome to an explained game of Fractured Space with me, TheDragoclaw. So, what I'm hoping to accomplish with this video is essentially a tutorial-esque explanation of Fractured Space. This is sort of aimed at newer people who are going to be hopefully joining and enjoying Fractured Space. But it's also not meant to be a straight-up tutorial, this is how you do certain things, this is how you make crew, this is how you choose your ship and stuff. This is meant to be sort of just what is going through the mind of a more experienced player as they play the game. So it's going to be fairly more relaxed than other kind of videos. Like, it's not going to be this is how you play the Hunter, this is how you play the Furion. This is going to be this is how a player plays the game. It's very similar to a couple videos I did a while back, like a year or two ago. They got some pretty good responses, so I thought I'd revamp it for the new Phase 4 released version of Fractured Space, because it's a lot changed from those simpler times back when I made those videos, and I hope this helps you guys. So I'm imagining that a lot of viewers here have already completed the tutorial and done all that kind of thing, and they've played a few games, got a few games under the belt, you know, they know the general workaround the the lay of the land. So it will be familiar to you. It's got to player versus player, do some casual, and you'll just be click and play, perhaps waiting a long time, perhaps a short time, depends on what bracket, or I suppose not bracket, they don't have those anymore, but what level you're at. And this searching could take a couple minutes, depending on the time of day, or it could take a few seconds if you're really lucky. Man, I'm really lucky today. Man, I was really thinking I was going to have to cut this video. Huh. Well, I need to kind of think about what I'm going to say very quickly. I'm on the spot now. So, yeah, this could take a while. It didn't for me. But, essentially you'll be thrown into the game as normal. And immediately as you come into the game, you're going to be wanting to start thinking about what it is you kind of want to play. Like, you don't have to have a firm idea, because unless you really want to play a particular ship, you might not be able to play what you want to play. So right now I'm in the second slot here, so I could go ahead and pick any ship I wanted. I could leave the filling up to the rest of these guys, but if you're looking to be have the optimum play as best as you can, then you need to kind of pay attention to your team here. So immediately we've got our healer, which means that we don't really need to think about any other healer. Right now I'm thinking heavy because we don't have one right now, and I'm thinking either Destroyer or Paragon. I'm thinking these because Destroyer is going to work very well against the Brawler, and a Paragon could counter the Ghost. Overall, I have decided right now that I think I'm going to go with Destroyer because I'm more confident in the Destroyer. That Brawler, if he's good, and he's probably pretty good, is just going to harpoon a Paragon, pull him in, and do terrible things to him. And we don't really need the detect boy from the Paragon because we've got a Hunter here. Hunters can detect ghosts, they can detect any cloaked vessel within, how long range is it, 7,000? Yeah, 7,500 meters of the ship. So we've got an already really mobile ship that can jump around and deal with the ghost. So we need someone that can deal with a Destroyer. And at range, deal with a Brawler, and at range, that's the Destroyer. So looking at this, I've gone with standard artillery cannon because it's my favourite loadout. Decent amount of firepower, and turn rate and travel time and stuff. I've got my deflag charges. Any of these really work well except the detonation charge. I'm not a huge fan of it because I much prefer the spread you get from explosive charges or deflag. Jamming system, doesn't really matter which one you pick. I'm going to go strategic because I like to keep people's map locked for as long as possible. So, you know, you can cover people as they go on attacks down the lane. You can make sure anyone in your lane doesn't notice it and rotate. And these two you can't really change. You can change to fighters, bombers to fighters now, but don't really need that. And last thing before I jump in, check the map. It's always a good idea to check the overview to see which lanes you've got. It works perfectly now, there's no bugs with it anymore. There used to be a ton of bugs with it so that you would never actually get the sectors you saw. or it was very unpredictable, but it all works now, it's fine. You can look at those overview maps and they'll tell you what you need to know.
Information with the package.
So yeah, if you know that you don't like one of the lanes, for example, we've got Oblong Cascade over here and Toxic Expanse over here. I really like Toxic Expanse because it's a really beautiful sector. That's it. But if you don't, if there's some sector you know you don't like I'm not a huge fan of the, what is it, Pillars of Erebus or something along those lines. It's like a cylinder-shaped lane. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. Okay, so I'm gonna sit back and wait for a moment. Kind of looks like, okay, we've got an even split, so I get to choose where I go. I'm gonna go to Beta because that's where my healer has gone, and that's where the hunter has gone. So I kind of need a bit more oomph down in that lane. Generally speaking, as a heavy, you should jump first, but I was busy explaining things, so I didn't get to jump first. But if you're like a heavy ship like this one, it's a good idea if you take the initiative and choose a lane. Obviously, watch to make sure that a bunch of people haven't just immediately jumped out into lane in front of you, so you don't stack a lane, because that's never a good idea. Or I guess very rarely is a good idea, I should say. Oh, wait there, Ghost. But right now, we're in a little bit of a pickle, because every single one of the ships in this lane is a good target. Like, the Disruptor here is a good target because he's the heals. If you take him out, you take out the enemy's ability to heal. The Pioneer over there is a good target because he's a good source of damage that's easy to hit, and has already taken a bunch of damage. And the Ghost is one of those ships that you always want to take out. Ghosts, if you see them decloak, try your best to keep them decloaked and kill them, because they can do a lot of damage if left unchecked. And you'll forget about them fairly quickly. Like you'll be in a tense gamma situation. And you'll forget about them. And then they'll make you regret that decision. Or I guess not really decision, but a fact of life. Oh, hello, Mystic Ghost. Yep, there you are. So he has broken my armor, and I am kind of turning that side towards him. So if he was to jump out and shoot me in my left side here, it would hurt a lot more than if I still had armor there. But I didn't really have too much of a choice there, because it would take a longer time for me to turn around the other way. Which is why I decided to go that way, because it was quicker, essentially. I'm in a lot of trouble. I would go so far as to say I am kind of screwed. Because, oh, hello, yep, you're going to try and get my butt, aren't you? Yep, and you're going to succeed. Alright, so my goal there was just to try and keep the mine as long as possible. Because there was very little chance of me escaping there, because the way we pushed... Oops. I wish I do have a mouse cursor. I can use tab. So because our hunter pushed up here and they followed, we were able to take the mine. Which was advantageous for a while. But then he jumped out. Or died. I think he jumped out though. Yeah, I'm the only one dead on the team. Then they can turn around and started shooting me because I was kind of out of position. Which was a little bit of a problem. Because as a destroyer, you need to be very careful about where you go. Like, the destroyer in particular, but all heavy ships, you need to be very careful and deliberate with your moves. Oh, can we get that Pioneer? Oh, we can get that Pioneer. Come on, Hunter, get him. Yeah. Okay, so we just had a call out from the team, which is a fantastic call, that the Ghost is in A2, so I feel safe jumping out. Oh, can we even snipe that kill? I don't think we can. That's a shame. Hopefully our allies will get it though. But Gamma's coming up, and Gamma 1, it's okay to go quote-unquote late to. Like, I'm kind of taking a mick here by going at like 0 minutes, 0 seconds, but usually if you start jumping around 30 seconds, that's usually fine, because most people want to get level 3 before Gamma, and I would say that's probably more important than going early. Having level 3 is a huge advantage, because level 3 gives you the choice of choosing between 3 different levels, and that choice is fairly significant, like in terms of amount contributed to each of the topics. Or I guess statistics, it's not really a topic. Alright, so this brawler is in a lot of trouble. He's going to try and hide behind one of the rocks and jump out. But I've thrown everything I've got on him, and so has the rest of the team. We do need to be careful though, because I have very large suspicions that the ghost is in here, and is just waiting for us to jump out on an attempt to ambush someone, like the Furion. That was just a kind of guarantee, to be honest. If you know there's a ghost on the enemy team, even if you suspect he is dead, check the tab list. If he is not dead on the tab list, then he's in Gamma, and he's just waiting for one of you to start jumping. So you should try and stay as close to the Gamma station as you can. Try and be able to get somewhere where you can just quickly duck behind cover. Try and think like a ghost, like if you were a ghost pilot, where would you be aiming on your ship to destroy it and not miss any volleys? Like from a Furion, they'd probably be above or below you, because you've got a wide butt. If you're in something like a Sentinel, they're probably not going to try and shoot you because you're a pain in the ass to hit, so you're probably fairly safe. And if you're a healer as well, you're almost certainly public enemy number 1. One thing to note is I probably should have jumped back home when I saw that there was a jump beacon deployed in a different sector. I expect... Oops, no server. Okay. Did I just hear... Yeah, I thought I heard a ghost. I was going to say, I expect there could be a ghost in the lane, waiting for me to do the jump out. But fortunately there wasn't, or if there was, he decided to spare me. Oh no, he's got his heal drones on him. Oh, that's giving me a pain in the ass. This ball is just at the range where it's kind of hard to lead shots and hit. And he's going to get behind cover. That's a shame. Oh, is that the ghost back there? I'd imagine that's the ghost. So I'm focusing this healer there, just to try and make him use his blink and like get out of the way. And then I'm going to turn my attention to the brawler here, because he's busy fighting off that superlifter, and I just want to do enough damage to him that were he to finish that superlifter off and then start looking for other targets, that he would be low enough on health that I could just out DPS him. And they have taken our forward station, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest. Kind of wish they hadn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump home. I'm going to let the superlifter take the lane because he's better at it than I am, because he's faster. And I'm just going to sit in base. Because right now, if their ghost wanted to, he could jump into our lane or into our base and start doing terrible things. If I started jumping up into beta there, I probably wouldn't have got into the forward base in time to stop them from jumping in. So just by waiting here, I can make sure that if anyone decides to jump through, I can take care of them. Who's that? Furion versus the Pioneer. I think he's doing alright. Yeah, he's going to get some support soon. So Disruptor's over there, Brawler is over there. The Brawler could be very tempted to jump in because he's so far down the lane there, and if we start taking this back, he'll think, oh man, I really need to take use of this forward station we've got.
Targeting lock failed. Reacquisition failed.
But he does seem like he's just capping the lane. I don't know if I should jump in.
Hey guys, remember that jumping and weapons work.
Okay, I'm jumping in because they haven't jumped in yet. My jump home is off cooldown, so I can jump in if I need to. And I'm going to be very cautious here. I'm going to go as evasive as you can in the Destroyer to hide from the Brawler, so that he doesn't just use his harpoon and grab me. Oh, will we get him? Nah. Jump home takes a while, but not that long. Okay, so the hunter's job here is just to run down the lane, start capping these mines, which he's doing fantastically. My job is to go into Gamma, and to just sort of hold down the fort. We've got here Fearon, Ghost, and Pioneer. We're revealed, so that's a Pioneer. Awesome. Right, so I'm going to go down low, because as a destroyer, your firing arcs are better on your top than they are on your bottom. Hello, mister. Brawler there. So I'm going to focus everything I've got on that brawler. He's at range, which is where I'm better than he is. Oh, something is just happening to my computer. I hope that does not explode. It feels very, it sounds very vibrating. That's not showing up in the recording. Yeah, so I'm going to focus down on the brawler here. We did start opening fire on the levy, which was a terrible idea, because that's where the disruptor's then going to focus his heals. Although it has brought us enough time to deal a significant amount of damage to this brawler. Like, we really did a number on that brawler before the disruptor was able to heal him, which has given him, you know, it hurt him a bit. We do need to, however, start focusing something. Like, something needs to die, because we're not winning this cap. I'm quickly switching to the levy, because as a destroyer, I am very good at taking out enemy heavies. And we are just melting this guy. Like, oh my lord. Another good tactic is, if you're in something like a destroyer or a pioneer that doesn't require much in the way of energy, keep your point defense on as much as you can in Gamma, because you'll probably save the life of one of your friends. Because ships who require energy, like healers and utility ships that focus on using their energy for weapons like the Raven and Aegis, they really like their energy, and they don't really want to use it for point defense. Oh my lord, we're just getting absolutely annihilated. Don't even know where our focus is. Don't even think we have any. So I'm going to make it that Ghost if I can. It's blinked out the way and I have no idea where he is now. Oh, this is not good. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I can see that we are kind of screwed. Superlift is about to go down and they're about to cap. So I'm just jumping out. There was only going to be one. I was going to be the last person left, and we're going to have Gamma by the time that was the case. So just jump out. I kind of panic jumped to Alpha, but this will probably turn out to be where they push, because if you look at the lane, we can completely control this lane. So from their perspective, this lane is entirely red, and they want to change that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit back here at forward station, wait for my team to respawn, and take pot shots at them as they come down the lane. I'm going to do next to no damage, but it's going to intimidate them a little bit. I am shooting the shield. That will not intimidate them one bit. But as this is going on, I'm keeping a very close eye on that brawler, making sure that he's not going to fire his harpoon, and as soon as he comes within weapons range, for me it's 25k, I'm just going to open fire on him. Like, if it's probably not going to happen, if we can do enough damage to make the disruptor pop his heal, that's fantastic. I'm going to send my bombers out there, see if they can't do something. I'm going to try my best not to interfere with our Fearon here. I imagine, though, that brawler kind of looks like he's about to go fishing. Or maybe not. Oh, our Ghost is brave. And by brave, I mean potentially foolish. Okay, so the Disruptor has popped his heals. So really, we just need to wait him out for a little bit. Now's a decent chance to go for him, because I imagine his heals will be gone fairly soon. Although with gas 2, the heals will probably be back fairly soon. he's grabbed someone. Who's he grabbed? He's grabbed a Furion. Alright, so his attention's probably not on me. So that gives me until this Furion dies, which is incredibly quickly because of the focus fire coming out of the team, to deal irreparable damage to this guy, which I've successfully done. And now we're going straight into the Disruptor, because he can heal, he can disarm my weapons, he can do a lot of things to me that I don't want him to. And that levy's going to take a while to chew through, especially if he's got any form of healing. Oh, hello. That was not a very smart blink. I guess it was more of a panic blink than anything. As this levy's jumping, he's using his regular jump, which is smart. So he'll probably get out. Yeah, he rotated his armor as well. Okay, so I'm going to start taking out some freighters, and then I'm going to jump home. Because we've managed to jump into their base, they're retreating to go and deal with it, so I want to retreat to deal with the opening in beta. So overall that was a very good defense. We managed to melt the brawler quick enough that it didn't matter that he killed our Furion. Because we could just take our time, deal with their healer after just focusing down with brawler, and then switch to the levy if he stayed in the lane, which he didn't. Generally speaking, disruptors, protectors, paladins, you want to kill them before you start going after any other ship. Unless you've got an awful lot of damage on your team. So if you're seeing things on your team like Furion, Reaper, Interceptor, Leviathan, Destroyer, you can be fairly confident that you can focus through most heals. Especially Superlifter heals. So Superlifter, like the healer we've got on our team, they often rack up tons and tons of support points because they grab every little piece of heal that there is to give. So like this guy, if he got hit by a Superlifter heal now, he'll constantly be healing. Because he'll essentially have, or he will have, a heal over time on him. So that's why they get so many support points. The problem is, their heal over time is minimal, so you can focus through it pretty effectively, even with a fairly low DPS team. I'm just going to throw out a block map, just because, why not? There might be a ghost in that lane. Oh hello. That was an accidental mouse click, by the way. Oh dear. Okay, so this is a problem. You don't want to get hit by a brawler. As a destroyer, it's probably a decent ship to get hooked by in, because you can probably play shot for shot for them if you manage to land all of your shots on broken armor and they don't manage to do the same. Fortunately I've got a healer buddy here, so this will be a lot easier with him, but you'll see I was able to shred through him because I aimed for his nose. I had a friend, but I was doing most of the damage there. Oh Jesus. Because I was aiming for his nose is the weakest armor. All ships have different armor ratings depending on what their ship is. The Brawler has the most side armor of any ship in the game. It has 4,000 armor points on each side, I believe. Or maybe 3,000. It's a high number. Most ships have between 1,000 and 2,000. It has an awful lot on its sides. But its nose is really weak. It's something like 1,000 or 750. So you can just mash through it. Oh, I guess it's taking so much damage. So right now, there are two viable targets here, the Ghost or the Disruptor. The Ghost is probably the best target because he has not got as many ways to stop you from shooting him, and he's a really good amount of damage. And of course he likes to put himself into trouble by landing straight on top of you. Now focusing this guy is not a good idea because he's got heals, so I'm switching to the Disruptor. Oh, he might be able to get through his heals though. I think he just put his heals back on himself, so we can afford to switch targets. Ah, but they took Gamma again, so they just had more cap power, I guess. So they're probably jumping into our base. I'm going to start jumping home. It would be really nice to be able to kill this guy. It would be incredibly nice to be able to kill that guy, but I don't think it's happening. So I'm just going to sit in here This Pioneer could cause me an awful lot of trouble, but I am a very tempting target for him. So it is kind of nice just to play sort of decoy. If you play it too well though, he will kill me. Like, he's got a buddy here who's gonna kill me. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Yeah, that fusion beam. I was not expecting the Levy to jump in afterwards, to be honest. So here, our attention is split between a lot of people. We focused down the Pioneer, but we just don't have enough ships remaining to hold off this attack, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because that was a very close game. I think what lost it for us here was the fact that I'm pretty sure the enemy team were on comms, or at least 2 or 3 of them. And the thing about that is when you're on comms, it's so much easier to communicate and choose your focus target, coordinate defense, coordinate attack, and it's kind of reflected here in the stats. They just outperformed us in every category, really. Takedowns don't really matter too much. What you're looking at mostly is the deaths, because takedowns are, if you participated in the kill, you get a takedown, so you can have more takedowns than kills on your team, for instance. But 18 to 26, so we died about 50% more. They capped more, about what, 25% more. Didn't quite see how many they had captured, but so their communication overall was probably just what got it for them. And yeah, all the O3 people were in a group, which is fine, but you know, that gives you such a huge advantage that it can be a bit disappointing, because we were very close there. That was a surprisingly close game. If we had managed to focus our targets a bit better in Gamma, I mean, they were doing fantastic jobs of cycling. Like, every time you'd focus the Ghost, he would cycle backwards, let someone else take his place, which is also a very good tactic you need to do. And as a Destroyer, it can be really annoying when that happens. But what you need to do is just start pushing the attack. Like, you're very good at making a push happen, because you've got a lot of damage, a lot of HP, and a lot of presence. So, I mean, don't be too ballsy, don't just go charging in there, but, you know, a little flanking maneuver, that could have helped. But yes, I hope this helped. I hope this sort of broke down the thought process of someone playing this game, who's been playing it for a while. I've got like 1,000 hours logged in this game, so hopefully that's a resume enough. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.